What's up, y'all? Let me brush my hair on camera real quick, man. Let me get my hair brushed on camera. Might have these things come in for the summertime. I don't know, man. Might have them things come in, man. Might have them things come in, y'all. All right, YouTube, what's up? I'm just getting this thing set up for this IG. I'm gonna try to play a little music too, man. See if they let me play a little music. You know what I'm saying, y'all? I don't know where my chapstick is. Thought it was in my drawer. Let me get my lip. Just give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. I don't know why I can't get this right no more. All right, y'all. What's up? We back. Sorry about that. Try to get some things in order. Get some real quick impromptu. What's up, Mika? I just turned the IG live on. I'm just going live for a real quick, just something real quick because I just let me get this image up. Let me get this image up. Today I'm talking about interracial marriage. There was an article in New York Post and it said why more Black women should consider marrying white men. That's basically what the article was about. And, I see some of our women chiming in. I see some of our men chiming in, but rarely do we have discussions that involve our community and things are brought to us in context. I just, I feel like I'm an old soul, man. I like the old music. I like the old school stuff. I like you know, I like folks like Al Green, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder. You know, folks talking about love. Folks talking about marriage. This Al Green right here. The song is called "Let's Get Married." Oh man, where's my water? You know what I mean? Y'all know this? Y'all too young for this. Y'all too young for this. Y'all too young. Tell them now, tell them. I didn't mean to say all the things I said. Oh no. Way I felt in my heart, it came out that way. Let me tell you one thing. Don't want to say anything to drive you away. Let's get married today. You see, the music reflected the times. You see, this music is gone now. So back during this time, we got married. Wanna get married. You see, the music reflects the time. Does art imitate life, or does life imitate art? Might as well take you in my arms and hold you. Take you in my arms and squeeze. What man is talking like this? Take you in my arms and love you every night. Just make everything all right, all right. I wanna soothe. He said, I wanna soothe you. Come on, man. I want to love you. Listen, the music represents the time. So you got to ask yourself, what am I even listening to? How you going to listen to trap music and be ready for marriage? If you listen to trap music, your marriage going to be a trap. Wipe all your tears away. Listen to what this man is saying. Yeah. Y'all know about it. Y'all too young for this. Y'all too young. How you gonna listen to trap music and prepare yourself for marriage? You got to have a loving spirit. You got to have a husband-like spirit, a wife-like spirit. Y'all entertained by foolishness, talking about you ready to get married. No. Al Green ready to get married. Remember he threw them hot grits on him? She threw them hot grits on him. And he didn't leave. Woo-hoo. I don't love nobody anyway. I said she threw them hot grits on him and he didn't leave. She said, baby, I'm going there to make some breakfast. She came back in the room with some hot grits and threw it on him. He got third-degree burns and he didn't leave. Oh, y'all. How you gonna listen to trap music and be ready for marriage? It ain't gonna happen. You see what I'm saying to y'all is, everybody's talking about this marriage thing, but are we really prepared to be married? You know, he that findeth the wife findeth the good thing and obtain favor from the Lord. So that means when he finds the woman, she has to already be a wife. So ask yourselves, women that are kissed by the sun, indigenous women and queens and goddesses, how many of you all are already a wife? That means you're not in the streets and you're not for the streets, but you're ready to be a wife. Somebody said, am I breaking up? Let me know if I'm breaking up. Am I good, y'all? Let me know. Am I good? Let me know. Let me know if I'm good. Dang, I'm good on YouTube. Am I good on IG? So I'm gonna go and come back. Am I good on IG? Because I can close out and come back if I'm not good. If I'm good, okay, yes, you good, okay, I'm good. So what I'm saying is, I've talked before. I've talked before. Somebody said my signal is really bad. You know what? I see it on here. Hold on. Is it good now? Is it good now? Let me know. Okay, let me just close out. Let me end it. Sorry, YouTube. They messing with my IG lives. Listen to me. Listen to me. The censorship is real, but what they do is they don't really censor you. What they do is they just mess up your stuff so you can't get your voice out. They just so diabolically slick and evil. So I should be better now on Instagram. Sorry for the inconvenience, you all. Hopefully I can. Okay, on Instagram, how am I doing now? Am I good now? I should be good now. I closed out. I got on my Wi-Fi. I should be good now. Okay, much better. What's up, Jakari? Hey, y'all follow my cousin, square_biz11. Okay, much better. Somebody said, hell no, you good? All right, good, okay. So we heard Al Green had a song called Let's Get Married. How many songs do y'all hear today entitled Let's Get Married? I want to get married. He even says in the song, he says, let's get married today, might as well. Just take you in my arms and hold you. Take you in my arms and squeeze you. Take you in my arms and love you every night and just make everything all right. I want to soothe you. So what I'm saying is the mentality that we have today even conducive for marriage, men or women? Now, when this article came out, many of the women in our community got excited and many of the men got triggered. But I'm here to say that it's a combination of both. I talk about from the man's standpoint is that the men in our community, they don't want to grow up. They don't want to accept responsibility. They don't want to be accountable. Because it's hard when you're telling somebody they're oppressed, why they want to grow up. If you're telling me I'm oppressed, and that means if I'm oppressed when I become an adult, it gets harder, then why would I ever want to grow up? This is why I stop listening to these people telling you that you are oppressed. It affects you psychologically. Now, somebody said on here, since Adam, he blamed the women. Now, the problem with Adam was this. When God came to Adam, Adam was supposed to say, Elohim, dear Heavenly Father, my fault. I shouldn't have eaten the fruit because you told me not to eat the fruit. And just because she ate the fruit didn't give me a green light to eat the fruit. But you see, what happened was Adam really wanted to eat the fruit. He just wanted a good enough excuse to eat the fruit. And he figured, if Eve gives me the fruit and I eat it, I won't be responsible because I can blame God because he gave me her. This mentality of Adam, the fall of man, is the mentality that is pervasive right now in our community for the men, because the men don't want to be responsible and accountable, because the men in our community are stuck on using their penis for everything and trying to get vagina. So the problem with our men is our men aren't thinking about legacy. Our men aren't thinking about their name. Our men are thinking about having sex, conquering women. And I got to admit, the standards in our community are so low to where it's not difficult to conquer on either way. Now, when it comes to the women suffer from the same thing that Eve did, and that is they're not humble, no humility. Now, Eve was enticed because the serpent told Eve that she can be like God. That enticed Eve. So Eve bit the fruit thinking, I'm going to be able to be like God. So you see that mindset of Eve is pervasive in our women today. So the Adam and Eve story was really a blueprint for where we are right now. I said the mindset of Adam and Eve is pervasive in where our people are right now. So this problem is not just a one-fold problem. This problem is a two-fold problem. This problem will need the men and the women to get on board, to get on track. But I know many of the women in my community think that this gives them an out. That because you should consider marrying white men, that you have a way out. And I'm here to tell you that most women in our community that go outside their race, they don't do those men the same way they do the men in our community. In other words, when women go outside of their race in our community, what I see is they give that other race of man, they put their best foot forward. And the reason why is because already in black culture says devalue the man, devalue the woman. So black culture in itself doesn't uplift or value men or women in our culture, nor does it value marriage. So automatically when someone goes outside of the race, they automatically value the other person because they're not a part of black culture. I know this sounds bad. I know it sounds horrible. I know it sounds terrible. But what I'm telling you all is this is the mindset. Somebody said, I thought it was fake when I seen it. It's not fake. Now, many of us want to escape the responsibility of being a better person. He that findeth the wife, findeth the good thing, and obtain favor from the Lord. So that means these folks outside here doing the yard work. He that findeth the wife, findeth the good thing, and obtain favor from the Lord. So that means that a man has to be in position to find a wife, meaning if he's seeking a wife, he can't be distracted by what? He can't be distracted by the world. So a man looking for a wife can't be distracted by the world. That's how he's able to find a wife, meaning that he's seeking. And the woman has to already be a wife. That means she has to not be for the streets. She has to be out the streets. So the responsibility really rests on the man and the woman. But we make it seem like it's just the men. If the men get in order, this is going to happen. If the women get in order, this is going to happen. But in actuality, we both have to get in order. We both have to get in order. Now, I'm going to start with the men. Let me start with the men. Now, I'll be the first one to say, now I know if Kamala Harris was a person that looked like myself and he would have a Caucasian woman or a Caucasian spouse, y'all wouldn't have supported him. It's a fact. Y'all wouldn't supported him if Kamala was a guy, looked like me, and had a Caucasian wife, y'all wouldn't have supported him. Y'all are a lot more understanding and accepting when the women go out of the race than when the men do it. Matter of fact, when the women do it, it's almost celebrated. It's almost celebrated. When the men do it, we're called the traitors to the race. We hate our mama. We don't want our women, but I get it. And I get it because our women feel like they never get our best. So naturally, if our women feel like they're not getting our best and we leave the community, it's like a double slap in the face. I get it. Our women feel like they don't get our best. And when they don't get our best and we leave, it's a double slap in the face. I get it. Because we don't marry our women like we should. I'm going to say it again. We don't marry our women like we should. Imagine if somebody said on here, imagine if Barack Obama had a Caucasian wife. There's no way you all have a picture of him hanging up in your house. Y'all would not have supported him the same way. Y'all, it would not be the same nostalgia. The fact that he had Michelle, sometimes he calls her Michael, but the fact that he had Michelle made y'all love him even more because he had a darker skinned woman. So that really melted your heart because you saw a darker skinned woman put into the forefront, but really that was all strategic. That was all strategic because they know that how you celebrate our women is through dark women. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. So how you celebrate our women is you use dark women to do it. So if you have a dark woman there, we automatic. That's why Ketanji Brown is selected because she's darker. Now Kamala got selected because, well, what that mean? People out there that was gonna fit the bill. You know, they didn't have her story. They probably wasn't an AKA, probably wasn't, raised in Oakland, probably wasn't going to HBCU, all that stuff. It probably wasn't named Kamala. She checked all the boxes. But my point is, I get it. We don't marry our women, and so our women feel slighted when we leave the community. I understand. It's painful. But the problem is, and the article talks about this, is that the article says that our women shouldn't be held hostage in a race based on race. Now I'm going to ask you all a question. Bear with me, and I may step on some toes. If white men are so racist, how are they a viable option for you all to marry? Let me ask again. If white men in America are the epitome of racism, let you all tell it, how are they an option to marry? That doesn't make any sense. How can you say that white men are racist, but they're potential husbands? Somebody's lying. Either the white men are potential husbands, meaning you see a better life with a white man, or the white men are racist. But you can't have it both ways. So take your pick. Are the white men racist in America, or are they good husbands? Let me know. But you can't have it both ways. You got to pick one. But the problem with our community, I'm going to say is that it starts with the men, because men don't want to be men. That's the problem. The men don't want to grow up. The men don't want to be men. You have a responsibility. You're supposed to be accountable. All these things that a man's supposed to be, strong, courageous, and brave, our men don't want to be. Our men don't want to be. The flip side is, because the men didn't want to be, then the women had to try to be the men. And now the men and the women going back and forth competing. But I believe that our women took that taking on two roles overboard, because again, it fed into the female ego, which no one talks about. No one talks about how powerful the female ego is. The female ego is so strong to where a woman will think she's better than another woman because she got on some better shoes. The female ego is so powerful that a woman will think she's better than the next woman because she has on a better outfit. That's how powerful the female ego is, but we never talk about the female ego. We never talk about the female ego. But it starts with the men, and it starts with the men because the men are supposed to be the leaders. Now, ladies, you got to ask yourself a question. Do you want the man to be the leader, or do you want a roommate? Because if a man's going to be the leader, you got to listen to him. Do you want a roommate, or do you want a husband? You got to ask yourself a question. You want somebody to take pictures with and do videos on Instagram, or do you really want a husband? Because you got a husband, if he's going to guide, provide, and assume all the responsibility, you got to listen to him. You got to be submissive. You see, ladies, y'all can submit if the man has a mission. The problem with y'all is y'all be submitting to a man with no mission, with no purpose. Y'all be submitting to his penis, not submitting to the man. Now, if I was in church, y'all would have walked out already. I said y'all will submit to the man's penis, that phallic symbol. Y'all will submit to the man's penis, but you won't submit to the man. That's a problem. Because you ain't going to be, listen, that rod, that penis, that rod of correction, that's undefeated. Because if he got some good wood, y'all powerless. And I'm talking to adults here. So you're not going to be able to compete with that lightsaber. That's why Luke Skywalker had to learn the Force, because the lightsaber, he couldn't beat his dad with the lightsaber. He had to learn the Force, be able to move stuff, do all that stuff. The Force had to be with him. That lightsaber, he couldn't defeat the lightsaber. So ladies, I'm telling y'all ladies, you can't beat that lightsaber. So the problem is, ladies, y'all are submitting to the penis and not the man. You have to learn the Force. I said y'all have to learn the Force. Now, Judge Joe Brown says something, and I agree. Judge Joe Brown says that our race is doomed unless the men step up. Now, listen, this is not a racial comment. In white society, in white America, they're going to crumble as well because the man's going to be emasculated. There's an attack on masculinity, period, regardless of the race. So the men have to fight doubly hard now, because back in the day, society supported men being men. Now society doesn't. Now society calls you toxic. Now society calls you toxic. So the problem is there's an attack on masculinity, and what men are trying to do is men are trying to exist in a world where they're under attack for being men and also be with a woman. That's going to be impossible. Be a man. So that means at all costs, a man has to say, I'm going to fight for this woman. I'm going to fight for my children. I'm going to fight for my family. But in essence, what he's saying is, I'm going to fight for my legacy. I'm going to fight for my name. You see the man is tasked with making his name great. You know, you carry that last name. The man is tasked with making his name great. What are you sharing about your name? What are you sharing about your name? Somebody said that a man has to love Yahusha first. I mean, that's right. We can get into that too, though. We're going to get into how the woman is supposed to honor and respect the man, and the man's supposed to love the woman like Christ loved the church. And basically that means that the man lays his life down for the woman. But ladies, you all are asking a man to lay his life down for you all, and you all aren't submissive. That's insanity. If I offer you my life, it can't be too much arguing. If my penance to pay you is my life, we can't gotta be on the same page. And I know it sounds male chauvinistic, and I know it sounds archaic, but if I'm giving you my life, the least you could do is say, I respect you. I will allow you to lead. I'll honor you. I'm just saying. Somebody said women getting married and don't want to take their husband's name. You know why? That's the female ego. I want to hold on to being an independent woman while I'm still married. But what Judge Joe Brown said is, on the comment of why more black women should consider marrying white men. Well, first of all, let me say this. It's not as easy as y'all think it is. When we go to the statistics, and I'll pull these numbers up, y'all are at least, hold on, because y'all think I'm playing, but I'm not going to play today. Now, ushers guard the door. I ain't letting y'all leave now. Y'all want to leave, I won't let y'all leave. Y'all ain't going nowhere. The share of recently married blacks with a spouse of different race or ethnicity has more than tripled, from 5% in 1980 to 18% in 2015. Among recently married whites, rates have more than doubled, from 4% up to 11% up. So we see that the trends of interracial marriages are going up. Now, what I'm telling you all is, the statistics show that white men marry Latin women and Asian women way more than our women. So when a white guy's going outside of his race, the least likely woman to get picked is a woman from our community. And I'm sorry to say that, those are just the numbers. So again, they don't tend to go towards our women because most other races of men want or used to submissive women. This is why the marriage rate in the, white America is declining, because their women have adopted this independent feminist attitude as well. And it's just not conducive for marriage. It's not. That's why Superman had a tough time dating Wonder Woman. It's not conducive. That's why Superman had to get him a regular woman, Lois Lane, get married and be happy. It was a lot tougher when he had to date Wonder Woman, because he wants to lead and she wants to lead. He can fly and she can fly. He's strong and she's strong. They butt heads all the time. Now listen, the sex might be great, but they button heads all the time. Somebody said the women are leading and everybody is dying. The women are leading and everybody's dying. The problem is the family structure was never meant or designed to be with just one parent. It wasn't. So what I'm telling you all is, say we playing basketball. In order to play basketball, you have to have a ball. Having a single parent household is like playing basketball without a ball. You look like old boy on above the rim. What was it, Thomas Shepard? You playing with Nutso with no ball. And he looked crazy, and he was crazy, playing without no ball in some tight khakis. So what I'm telling you all is, the marriage dynamic was never meant to be single mom or single father. The marriage dynamic, the raising up of children, was meant to be with a man and a woman. That doesn't work. So if you look at the wealth gap in our community, it mirrors the marriage gap. We don't get married. So that directly ties into the wealth. It's almost impossible to build wealth without being married. It's almost impossible, because two incomes are better than one. Just like two heads are better than one, two incomes are better than one. So if we don't get married, the wealth gap is going to be significant. But they never talk about the wealth gap and the marriage gap, because they don't want y'all to get married. They tell you that you're oppressed, you're disenfranchised, it's racism and all this stuff, but they never tell y'all to get married. Ain't that something? One of the most detrimental things to a society is the lack of marriage, and they don't tell y'all to get married. And then this woman right here, go pull up her old tweets of her talking about the men in our community. Go pull it up. This woman right here, right now, she had the audacity to say that the men in our community didn't want her. That's a lie. This is a good-looking woman. She's actually a good-looking woman, body, everything. Y'all can't see it, but this girl that played in Queen and Slim. The Queen in Queen and Slim. Even that movie was propaganda, because Queen and Slim was a movie about her. She was a lawyer, successful. He was a guy that probably worked at a manual labor job, cared about sneakers, had a trunk full of shoes. Like, even how they picked the couple together played on your propaganda and the dynamics. Basically, she had to date down to date him. And it was a guy, listen to me now, go back to the movie. They had met before online, but she didn't want to date him. So she came back around to date him again, which means she went out there and couldn't find somebody. So she was left with the leftovers of this guy right here. Manual labor, still staying at home, all that stuff. She had to date down. It's so hard out there for our women. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's hard for our women out there, because our women don't want to humble themselves to be wives. Our women look up to Kamala Harris, bad. Our women look up to Michelle Obama, bad. Our women look up to Beyonce, bad. Our women look up to Meg Thee Stallion, bad. Our women look up to Cardi B, bad. Our women look up to Jada Pinkett, bad. Isn't it crazy how Jada Pinkett got elevated once she cheated on Will? All these women start defending her once she cheated on Will. You know why? Because nobody talks about the female ego. They only talk about the male ego. They never talk about the female ego. These women walk into an establishment and look at these women's shoes, and if her shoes ain't up to par, she already cast down to the lower ranks of society. There's nothing like the women's ego. We don't talk about it. But we don't talk about it. So the problem with our women is the examples they're looking up to, Maxine Waters, bad. Our women don't have enough good examples in front of them to even know what a good wife's supposed to look like. We used to have Claire Huxtable, but they took her off of TV. They took Claire Huxtable off of TV and gave y'all Monique. They took Claire Huxtable off of TV and gave y'all Monique. They took the Cosbys off of TV. I remember we was complaining so much about how the Cosby Show wasn't reality. We were complaining. You mean to tell me the husband's a doctor, the mom's a lawyer, living in Brooklyn Heights? It's unrealistic. Oh, I know. Y'all love Good Times, though. Y'all love Good Times more than y'all love the Cosby Show. And Good Times should have been the show that y'all was, and the Cosby Show should have we all aspired to. The children went to college, wasn't no drama, wasn't no black culture tearing through the house. The man and the woman loved each other, worked together. This is how the devil works, y'all. The devil gives y'all a good example right before he ushers in all that evil and destruction. So guess what? The devil got to give you a choice. So when all this stuff happens, they give you a, why do y'all think the fitness industry reached its highest in 2019? The fitness and wellness industry reached its height 2019. Then they got on and said it don't mean nothing. They always show you what's good first, and then they come back with the evil and the wickedness. So it's your job to take that what's good first and hold on to it. They gave us good examples. Art imitates life, or does life imitate art? But we see when the music was about love, we got married more. So there has to be some correlation. When the TV shows were better, we got married more. So there has to be some correlation. They got rid of the Cosby Show and gave y'all the basketball wives, the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So what they did essentially was they made y'all think that reality TV was reality, even though it's all scripted. Even though it's all scripted. So y'all love Good Times. Now, Good Times, the show, started out with two men and woman because the show originally was about James and Florida Evans. That's what the show was about. And the show ended up being about comedy with JJ. Why? Because they don't really want to show, they didn't want to show you a functioning family that stick together and love each other. They wanted to make y'all be entertained with comedy, laughing all the time, joking and sniggling and giggling. We love to laugh. That's why we love TikTok. We dominate social media because social media is a place we don't have to be responsible. Social media will be nothing without our people. We make TikTok go, we make Twitter go, we make Instagram go, we make Facebook go. It's our community. Because you know why? You ain't got to be responsible. You can get on there, act the fool, get some likes, and hop off. We love it. Basketball wives, and wasn't damn one of them married, right? They gave you a show of basketball wives, and ain't damn one of them married. We had a song called Can You Be Wifey? That song wasn't, listen to me. They didn't even try to make wifey or being a wife without even getting married. Ladies, protect your vagina. Stop giving your vagina away. Stop giving your vagina away. Stop giving your vagina away. This man want to sleep with you. He didn't say he wanted to marry you. Stop giving your vagina away. Stop. Close your legs up. Stop being for the streets. Y'all get mad at Kevin Samuels all the time, but he literally advocates for marriage. You know how many women call his show and say, I'm going to leave my husband? And he asks them why, and it's for the dumbest and most shallowest and self-centered reason you can imagine. And he say, stay with your husband? And y'all want the man off of social media? Who was that lady? Ayana Von Sant, or what's her name, or whatever? Ayana something. She was getting death threats because she dared to hold our women accountable. Why are y'all sending her death threats? Because she's holding y'all accountable. So let's not make this a one-sided thing. Let's not make this a one-sided thing. We know that when it comes to holding our women accountable, it is a serious problem because y'all got black girl magic. No other race has white girl magic, Caucasian girl magic, Asian girl magic, Latin girl magic, Pacific Islander girl magic. Nobody else has magic just for being what they are except our women. It's hard to compete with a woman's ego if she's magic just from being more. If she a queen from birth, it's really hard to kind of make her humble or see her, or for her to be humble if she's a queen and she got imagine that. Our women are queens and magical from birth. So what can a man tell you? If you're magical and you're a queen from birth, what can a man honestly, and don't add a degree to that. Don't add success to that. So you mean to tell me you a queen, you magical, you educated, you success? Oh my, how are you gonna be humble? That's a superhero. If she's a queen, she's magical, educated, and successful, that is a literal superhero. How are you going to be humble under those conditions? How are you going to be humble under those conditions? It's almost impossible. But what black culture does is black culture doesn't promote marriage. Once we started calling it black love, we stopped getting married. Once it was just love, we got married. Once we called it black love, once we qualified it, we stopped getting married. Y'all tell me black love, black love, black love, and the marriage rates is dropping like flies. Because love ain't supposed to be black. Love is unconditional. And that's the problem. Y'all trying to love with conditions. It don't work. That's not love. Y'all trying to get over. Now, let me go to some of these stats. I don't know if you can see it, but it says that black men are twice as likely as black women to intermarry. So based on the numbers, the men in our community get married outside of our race more than our women. And in fact, the men in our community actually get married more than our women. Ironically, the men in our community get married more than women in our community. Now, folks may say, well, how is that possible? It's possible because we go outside of our race more to get married. I think like at about 15%, we go and do it. At about 15%, we do it. And I'm always gonna tell somebody, you have to be with who makes you happy. I don't want that image yet. You got to be with who makes you happy. But I am going to say this, that it does start with the men, because the men have to be courageous again. You see these dating statistics on here. The men go outside their race a lot more than our women, definitely. Now, some people say that our women are just loyal to the race, but that's not necessarily an honest statement. Our women know when they go to white men or Caucasian men, their white culture, Latin culture, Asian culture, every other culture has a culture of marriage. So that means that there's a standard already set before you go into that culture. Marriage is something that's expected. In our culture, black culture, it's baby mama, it's independent women, it's men going out there being whoremongers, spreading their seed. That's black culture. So when you leave out of black culture, there's a standard. So our women, once they leave black culture, that black girl magic, queen, all that stuff don't really fly in other cultures. You still got to be a man's wife. You still got to be a good woman. So that stuff don't fly with them other men. They don't care about that. And most men, ladies, don't care about your degrees. My boys say you can have more degrees than a thermometer, but it don't mean nothing. But what I'm saying is that when we leave our race, there's a different standard. Now, I'm gonna say this too, and this may offend some of you all. I hope it doesn't, because we're really all in love. But what I notice is when our men go outside of their race, what I notice, and it may not be true, we tend to date down. what I've noticed. We tend to date down, meaning we don't tend to get the cream of the crop when it comes to other races of women. I could be being superficial. I'm just saying what I observe. When it comes to our women, when it comes to other races of men, they tend to get our cream of the crop women. So when you see the average maybe white guy that has a woman from our community, she's usually more in the upper echelon of our community. I'm not trying to make a classist. I'm just saying I notice that our men usually date down when we go outside of our race, and our women have to date up because, I'm gonna tell you why, because the men of other communities are picking the women. So you got to meet the man standard. In our case, when we go out, we're picking the women. So you got to meet our standards. And I got to admit, our standards are pretty low when it comes to this thing, because I see what we do when we lead the community. And so you got to think about it. Black culture is the corporate in all of this, because we love Black culture, but Black culture doesn't promote anything that we need to be successful in life. It just doesn't. So we want to lead with our penis. The music tells us to go out there and ski. Get all these women. And most of the guys telling us to go out there and ski is down low bisexual anyway. They just gay. Most of the men telling us to go out there and ski are gay. You know why? Because secretly, they don't want us getting married either. They want it all chaotic too. So they go out there and preach the message of just go out there and spread your seed, get with multiple women, make them lesbians, all this crazy stuff. The music is demonic. But art does imitate life, and life imitates art. That's why Al Green has a song about getting married, and half the song is him just in his mood riding, because he's thinking about a woman. You can only make that kind of music if you really love a woman. That's why they call it love making music. It's love music. You can only make that music if you really love a woman. If you don't love a woman, you can't make that kind of music. That's why these guys out here, they don't really love them women, because they don't love themselves. These men don't love themselves, so they can't love a woman. The man got to love himself first. How I know I love myself is I keep my penis in my pants. Now, some of y'all men don't understand that only 20% of women actually orgasm through penetration. So men, if you're able to make a woman orgasm through penetration, hold on to it. You're worth your weight in gold. You're worth your weight in gold. Come on, ladies, hold on to your vagina if it's worth something. If you Black girl magic and you a queen and you all these great things, then hold on to your vagina. How are you all these great things, but your vagina's for the streets? You ain't never seen Wonder Woman or Supergirl accused of being a thought. You ain't never seen Catwoman be in the streets all night long, breaking in people's houses and stealing jewelry, but you never heard them call Catwoman a thought. So what I'm telling y'all is, if you're so great and wonderful and magical and so queen-like, you royalty, then hold your vagina. Act like your vagina is such. How are y'all gonna be queens, but your vagina is not? It don't make no sense. How you gonna be a king and your penis is not? It don't make sense. You can't separate your vagina and your penis from who you are. So how we know we love ourselves is how we take care of our temple. Is how we take care of our temple. Nah, Catwoman ain't no thought. Catwoman ain't never been accused of being no thought. Even though Catwoman was a thief and a burglar, she still knew she had some valuable stuff. Wonder Woman, all of them. None of these queens y'all see as queens can go out there and be for the streets. Princess Diana was divorced and tried to go out into them streets, and they got rid of her. Princess Diana got divorced and went out into them streets, and they got rid of her. That's how cold the game is for a real princess and a real queen. It's called a standard. It's called a standard. And y'all don't want to have any standards, because the culture, Black culture, says you don't need standards. Just be lit. Have y'all ever seen a lit vagina? Have y'all ever seen a lit penis? It's called an STD. when your vagina is lit and your penis lit, it's called STD. And they got some new stuff coming. Mark my words. They got some new STDs that's coming, and it's gonna make your stuff fall off. Just telling y'all. Black marital status. 30% of our men are married. 27% of our women. This is from the census of 2019. 30% of our men, 27% of our women. 30% of our men, 27% of our women. 50% of the men never been married. 48% of the women. So in the statistics, our women are the least likely to get married and the most likely to get divorced. In our community, our women are the least likely to get married and the most likely to get divorced. And we can't attribute all of that to the fact that our men don't want to marry them, especially when 80% of divorces are filed by women. So if our women are the most likely to get divorced, that means that our women are the most likely to file for divorce. The studies show that when men, from our community marry our women, you got about an 80% chance of the man never leaving. So if you get married, you got an 80% chance of the man never divorcing you because, first of all, most men don't file for divorce anyway. So most men are going to tough it out with you. And y'all seen these men when we go out. That man is walking, looking defeated, looking beat. Y'all seen him walking behind a woman, shuffling his feet. You seen him? He don't want to file for divorce. He got some honor left. And deep down inside, he knows, even though she done took his spirit and soul from him, he said, well, at least she gonna take care of me. And she will. She'll take care of him. She ain't gonna abandon him. She ain't gonna abandon him. She'll take care of him. We done seen it. So I believe our greatest detriment is the fact that we don't get married. That's our greatest detriment. We don't get married. But the problem is we have to reestablish the position of a man first. So men, y'all gonna have to go out there and fall on the sword. Tell these women the truth. Don't just try to sleep with them. That's the problem. Tell these women the truth. Stop lying to them. Stop selling these women a dream. Tell them the truth. Listen, baby, you ain't gonna make it. Kevin Samuel say all the time, you're gonna die alone. He said, get a dog because you're gonna die alone. Because the numbers suggest that. The statistics suggest that. You're going to die alone. So at the end of the day, stop lying to these women. And women and ladies, y'all ain't lying to the men. Y'all just lying with the men. So fellas, stop lying to the women, and women, stop lying with the men. If y'all want solutions. If y'all want solutions. Because the family unit, the family structure, the family, the man, woman, and the child is God on earth. This is why they want to get rid of marriage, because they don't want the Most High on the planet. Family is God on earth. This is why they want to redefine what a marriage even is. Redefine what a man and woman even is. They don't want God on the earth. Can y'all see that? I don't know if y'all can see this, but basically it just shows the numbers of how many women in our community get married outside of their race versus the men. And the men get married, probably the women right now probably about 6%, maybe the men like 15 to 18%, maybe. But you can't really see it. Take it down. You can't really see it. There's another statistic: interracial marriages. We obviously have white men doing it the most, and then second is our men. But in our community, it's the men doing it more than the women. Actually, a lot more. It's not even close. But I just want to say that the reason why it's done is not this reason because our women are so loyal to the cause. That's not the main reason. The main reason is it's such a cultural shift going from black girl magic to queen and everything because we got a matriarchal society where in our culture we uplift the women. So it's hard going from where you get praised for being a woman to another culture where you got to uplift the man. So that's why a lot of our women don't fare well in interracial relationships because it's just a cultural thing. I'm not going to say it's racial. I'm going to say that it's cultural. I'm going to say that it's cultural. Somebody said that polygamy is a solution. Somebody say like polygyny and polygamy, but do what floats your boat. I'm just saying, I don't know how black culture itself is conducive for our women to be wives, multiple wives to one man. I can't see it. I can't see it. Now, sleeping with multiple men, or yeah, but to be a wife, no, I can't see it. I can't. Polygamy, I can't see it working. I see folks that say they do it, but they never look happy to me. I don't know. So I'm just giving you my honest take on it. I can't see it. I don't see black culture being conducive for polygamy or polygyny. Now, black culture is conducive for baby mamas and, sleeping around, all that stuff. But to be a wife, to be one of three wives to a man, oh no, heck no. Because that would mean the man is the king. That would mean the man is the king. Black culture don't promote that. Black culture don't promote the man really being the king. No. Black culture promotes women being the queen. Now, I could probably see more women, one woman, and more husband than I could see the other way around. I'm sorry, I can't see it. That's not true. Half of the black men are not incarcerated. That's not true. It's 4 million of our men, and this is why knowing the truth is so important. There's 4 million of our men either incarcerated, in prison, in jail, on probation, on parole. So it's not over. It's not it's not half. We can look it up right now. We can look it up right now. How many men are incarcerated in our community? We can look it up right now. And I guarantee ain't no 50%. Is why the numbers are so important. The men lie, the women lie, but the numbers don't. But the numbers don't. So let's go to the numbers. We can go to Pew Research if it comes on. I want a total number for you all. I want a total number. Okay, so yes, so our men are 33. We make up 33% of the prison population, but it's not 33% of our men. Does that make sense? It's 33% of the prison population, but it's not 33% of our men. I'm looking for the raw numbers for you all. But basically it's so for every 100,000 adult males in our community, 272 has some form of imprisonment or the rate of imprisonment of that of white. So yeah, but anyway, my point is, I'm looking for the raw numbers for you all. But my point is, it's about 4 million. I want some raw numbers, man. They won't give you the raw numbers because it don't fit the narrative. Yeah, I'll find it for y'all. But anyway, like I was saying, so we get married more than women outside of our race. Now, let's talk about what might be some reasons to where uh, we wouldn't marry our women. Now, Issa Rae said something. Issa Rae had a book, and she said that the women of our community should consider marrying Asian men. Now, there's a reason why she said it. And her reason isn't because what y'all think. She based her reason, this statement right here. Issa Rae book said that Black women should marry Asian men, and people are angry about it now. She made that statement because if you go to online dating, our women are the least likely to get picked in online dating. Asian men, out of the men, are the least likely to get picked. So those two groups of people are at the bottom, the women of our community and Asian men. So what I'm telling you all is, for our women, here goes a slice of humble pie. Even when the playing field is level, online dating, meaning a person can go online and basically order what they want, they're still not picking you all for whatever reason. We've already established, though, you can't say it's because of racism, because everybody is suggesting that y'all go out and get some white men. So it can't be racism why y'all not getting picked. So why do you all think that you all are not getting picked? Why do you all think that when it comes to online dating, a neutral platform, why are none of the men, not the white, not us, not the Asian, why aren't any of the men of all demographics not picking our women? Why not? Why not? If y'all are Black Girl Magic, if y'all are queens, educated, y'all the most educated, successful, all these stats, y'all have everything going for you all. But when it comes to a level playing field where the man can pick what he wants, none of the men are picking you all. I'm asking you why. I'm not condemning you all. I'm simply asking, why are they not picking you all? They're picking other races of women, though. Asian women are getting picked. White women are getting picked. Latin women are getting picked. Why aren't you all getting picked? Now, some of y'all may get picked, but I guarantee those of you all, I'm hearing all kind of stuff, looks, I'm hearing all this stuff, all this. I'm gonna tell you right now, it has everything to do with culture. Everything. Everything to do with culture. Asian men culturally aren't seen as something that you're gonna have a fun marriage with. Not saying it's not true, but from a cultural perception, looking at that, you're gonna say it's really pretty much traditional, straight laced, women do this, that's it. So it's not really, so Asian men aren't appealing to other races of women because of that. I don't have to go into his household and just wait on him hand and foot like I'm a servant. Even though it could not be true, we're talking about cultural perception. When it comes to our community, ain't nobody dealing with this in back talk. They're not gonna deal with it. Ain't nobody gonna deal with patting that fitted cap, and then talking about what you ain't gonna do. It's cultural though, because Black culture says our women can talk reckless and still get a man. Our women can be overweight and still get a man. And you can think about it, in Black culture, our women get picked and married no matter what they look like, no matter what they do. Other cultures don't like that because that means the standard has been dropped. So ain't no man really finna deal with this, talking about what they ain't gonna do. I ain't doing this. He ain't gonna deal with it because that's a cultural perception. Because when he cuts on TV, that's all he see is this. There's a reason why they gave y'all basketball wives. There's a reason why they gave y'all Real Housewives of Atlanta. There's a reason why they gave y'all the reality TV. There's a reason why they celebrating all these couples. These black culture couples, I call them. They ain't real couples. There's a reason why. To make y'all undesirable. And y'all can't even see that. That's why they make y'all undesirable and y'all gonna be looking for a purpose. That's why in BLM's statement, BLM basically said, Black Lives Matter Global Network, they basically said they want the women of our community to be their foot soldiers. They want y'all to be single mothers and be on the front lines fighting for BLM. So that means when they show you images of our women being obese, being overweight, being out of shape, there's a method behind the madness. They don't want y'all to be desirable to a man because if you're overweight and out of shape, no man's gonna want you, I'm sorry. If you're overweight and out of shape, no man is going to want you, I'm sorry. Y'all talking about I'm thick. You ain't thick. This is thickness. You ain't. I had a girl tell me one time, she said, the thicker I get, the finer I get. I said, don't do that. Don't do. She said, we was in the grocery store. She said, the thicker I get, the finer I get. I said, oh, no, don't do that. Because you know, thick turn to fat. You know, thick, when thick, listen, when thick keeps growing, it goes into obesity. There are plenty of women that was thick, now they obese. I'm just saying. So the reason why y'all don't get picked online dating is because culture. So Issa Rae took that and said, well, why don't y'all come together, Asian men, women of our community, because y'all both are successful and all that stuff. I get it. But even the Asian men ain't gonna want to deal with that either because you can't come in there. You can't come in there and be overweight. Don't know, man. I'm sorry. Now listen, you know it's not a real thing because they call the men that do it chubby chasers. It's a category. It's almost like a sexualized. It's men watching big women eat as porn. I even saw Lizzo doing videos where she's eating in the. I'm like, Lizzo done got into food porn. You doing? They want y'all to look up to Lizzo and them because they don't want y'all to have a standard. They don't want y'all to get married. So imagine a man thinking that you're going to be disagreeable and you're overweight. You're not going to submit. You're not going to be humble and you're overweight. That is, you're not going to get picked. That's why on a level playing field, you all don't get picked. I got a few friends of mine that have Match.com accounts and we be scrolling through that. I just be like, even the pictures I see put up, even the pictures I see and what the bios, this stuff is crazy. This stuff is crazy. All these augmentations to the body is too much. It's too much. Issa Rae, I'm gonna quote Issa Rae. I say that Black women and Asian men are at the bottom of the dating totem pole. It's true, ask around. Go to Match.com, go to anywhere, and you'll see the least chosen is Raquanda and Lee. So this was Issa Rae said, and she's absolutely correct. So what I'm telling you all ladies is the solution is not going outside of your race because it's going to be very difficult anyway. The solution is to be a wife. The solution for the men is to be a husband. The solution is not y'all running from the problem because you'll run from the problem and run into a bigger problem. We've already established that to go outside of the race, our men usually date down, and to go outside of the race, our women have to abandon Black culture. You got to abandon the aspects of Black culture about that women independent stuff. You got to abandon that. You got to get rid of that. Because I guarantee that white man, that Asian man, that Latin man, he going to want you to be submissive. He going to want you to be submissive. He going to have everything in order for you, but you got to be submissive. That's why a lot of guys, a man can go and get a woman with no education and no money and be happy. Because what men require isn't money. Men want peace. The number one need of a man is to be respected. The number one need of a man is to be respected. Men want to be respected. Men want to be honored. Men want to be praised. Yes, men want to have their ego stroked. It's what men want. Men don't want your money. Men want you to make them feel good. Men want you to make them feel like he's more of a man because he got you. Men want you to make him feel like when he got you, he got something good, he got a prize. That's what men want to do. Men want to be respected and honored. Men don't want your money. How these women out here winning? I'll tell you how they women. You ain't never heard a hoe say there are no good men out here. You've never heard a woman say that was for the streets say there wasn't no good men out here. You ain't never heard a loose woman say there ain't no good men out here. You ain't never heard a prostitute, stripper say ain't no good men out here because they know it's good men out there. They know it. They see them all the time. Only ones talking like that, ain't no good men out here, are the women from our community and the Caucasian women that have hit the wall. Now, when them Caucasian women try that single route, because white culture ain't conducive to be no baby mama and no single and all that. That ain't white culture. I'm sorry, that ain't white culture. So when the white women try to do it, it backfires. It backfires. You seen a white woman, 45 years old and single? Oh, they schizophrenic. They borderline almost going insane because they culture ain't conducive for them to be single out here in these streets at 45, looking 65. I'm sorry to say it. Most Caucasian women get married earlier because they know past 30 they start aging more. They age faster. It's accelerated because they love the sun. The sun be beating them up every day. They go on the sun is beating them up. So after 30, she gonna start aging faster. So they gotta say, we gotta get married from 18 to 30. We gotta get married. So their mothers tell them that, get married, all that. So by the time they start looking older like that, and it gets accelerated, they're already married with a family. But our women look 50 years old, but look 30. That's a problem too. Because the illusion of looking good when you're older is time. You think you have more time, and you don't. Because most 50-year-old women not getting married. So our women, it works the reverse in both ways. The Caucasian women age fast, so they get married earlier. Our women age gracefully, but then they have more time and it backfire. So what I'm telling y'all to do is, the best thing to do is to use character and to be a wife and to be a husband. So that means men, y'all got to stop being afraid of these women, stop being afraid of being canceled, and tell these women the truth. Be honest. If you want to stop dating her because she gained weight, then tell her, baby, you need to lose weight. Because you best believe she gonna tell you. You better believe she gonna tell you. Men got way more expectations than women have. Our expectations are through the roof. Let you be with a woman and you sleep with her and the sex is terrible. You think she ain't gonna say nothing? She might not tell you. She gonna tell her friends. She ain't finna be rushing to have sex with you. Please, listen. A man has expectations. A he is expected to do some things, from the bedroom to his job. A man has expectations. So I'm telling y'all, since y'all have expectations, stop being afraid to tell these women the truth. They need to hear it from a man that they respect. Stop sparing their feelings, because life is not going to spare their feelings. Life is not going to spare their feelings. Why are 4 out of 5 Black women obese and overweight? Why are 4 out of 5 black women obese and overweight? I'll tell y'all, because our women eat their emotions. Y'all want to go to brunch every Sunday, but then don't want to go to the gym because you don't want to mess your hair up. You want to go out to eat all the time. You want to eat foods that are high in cholesterol, high in fat, and high in calories, but you don't want to work out because you don't want to mess your hair up. But what good is your hair looking good if your stomach is hanging over your Louis Vuitton belt? What good is your hair if your stomach is hanging over your Fendi belt? So what I'm telling y'all is you got to have a standard about your health too. You're talking about hair, hair, hair. Hair can't supersede your health. Y'all can work out and manage your hair too. Y'all can work out and manage your hair too. God made you perfectly. So you can work out and manage your hair. You ain't a flawed design. You can work out and manage your hair. That's an excuse. It's just too much obesity. Highest now among America's black women. It's not just a weight problem, it's a health crisis. So what y'all are going to start finding is that y'all are going to start dying more than the men used to die first. But now you're going to start seeing the women dying faster because y'all are so unhealthy because you eat your emotions. And black culture don't tell y'all to be in shape. Black culture says the reason why you overweight is because of racism. The reason why that Krispy Kreme keep jumping in your mouth is because of racism. The reason why you order that second order of 10-piece all flat with the fries, lemon pepper, is because of racism. It's the stress of living in America that got you obese. I done seen plenty of folks that were stressed out and didn't eat. I done seen plenty of people that were stressed out and lost weight. Matter of fact, most folks get stressed out and lose weight. Y'all the only ones get stressed out and keep gaining weight and keep it, but the menu keep expanding. Everybody want to go to brunch. Everybody want to go to the gym. So what's going to happen is y'all going to find yourselves exactly where Black Lives Matter want y'all. Out there like an offensive line fighting against racism. Single with children fighting against racism like an offensive line. The BLM full back of ribs coming, fighting racism. And y'all gonna be some good fighters too, because y'all gonna be 250. Y'all gonna be huge, knocking people over, knocking them out. Y'all gonna make some good soldiers. Y'all gonna be like where Wonder Woman come from. So on her island, they all in shape. They all in shape because they warriors. They gotta fight. They gotta train. They go to y'all island, y'all gonna be all obese. Y'all gonna be hell to deal with, but y'all all gonna be obese. So my point is, I'm not bashing. I'm simply saying that there has to be a physical standard that you got to meet for a man if you want to marry a quality man. Now, if you want to be big and have a chubby chaser, that's on you. But being bigger like that is unhealthy though. So we got to be healthy. We got to be healthy. And what we've done is we've made an excuse for this stuff, and now they're starting to market off of it. There's no way that Lizzo should be a hero for you all. Y'all know that Lizzo want to do a juice fast for a week, and all her fans got upset because they said she was a traitor because she wanted to lose weight. This is insanity. Y'all ain't thick. 81% of our women are obese and overweight. That's not thick. Y'all keep saying thick. That's not thick. Listen, man, I love y'all. I love y'all. These are all the write-ups, though. Listen, these are write-ups. Black women and fat. Like these are So what happened is, to push this narrative, they have y'all believing that you're big because of racism and stress, and it's just not true. You're big because you love that biscuit with that sausage in the middle, with that cheese in the middle, with that egg in the middle. That's why you're big, because your palate loves fattening foods. That's why you're big. That's why. And a lot of y'all come to the gym. Y'all finna start coming now because it's April. Y'all gonna come in April, May to get ready to go somewhere for the summertime. Come on, y'all. I know I'm not lying. So, and y'all can't leave because Usher's already guarded the door. So y'all can't even leave. Y'all finna get this work. CNN. 80% of black women are overweight. So what am I really saying, you all? What am I saying? I'm saying that this problem that we have with the marriage in our community, this problem we have is from us. Do y'all know that during slavery, we got married almost 100% and it was illegal? So how are we risking our lives to get married, but won't get married now? Let y'all tell it, slavery was the most adverse time in our history. But yet, we risked our lives to get married. And now we can get married free, and we don't. And now we can get married freely, and we don't. Me, as bad as slavery was, it destroyed marriage. Think about that. As bad as slavery was, it didn't destroy the black family. Think about that. As bad as slavery was, we still value family. So what happened? What happened from risking our lives to get married to not want to get married at all? What happened? We can't say it's racism because we got married during slavery. So we can't say it's racism. It's tough. It's tough. Somebody said fatness, processed foods, hair, all of it decadence. Somebody said feminism. Feminism. At the end of the day, you all, at the end of the day, this problem in our community is ours to fix. And it's only going to get fixed if the men are the men and the women are the women. Y'all want to go out here and y'all done celebrated the LGBTQP, don't forget X, Y, and Z community. Y'all done all that support, and they are literally anti you all getting married. You all done stood up for these transgenders all this time. I mean, fighting for these transgenders, and they are literally against you getting married. Literally. Because they want to be with your men. So y'all literally got in bed with the enemy. Y'all literally got in bed with the enemy. So we will fix the marriage problem in our community when the men are men and the women are women. But it's first going to start with a standard. Men, you cannot be spreading your seed and making babies all over the place. Ladies, you cannot like men that make babies all over the place. Men, you cannot lead with your penis. Lead with your character. Ladies, you cannot like men that lead with their penis and not their character. Men, you must be able to guide, provide, and assume responsibility. Ladies, you must listen to and follow a man that does those things. This is a solution here. The men need to be men and the women need to be women. So men, stop being afraid, stop being cowardly, hold your head up, and if these women don't want to follow your lead, then guess what? She's not the woman for you. Because pretty soon, coming soon, the real man's going to be the highest commodity. Because the world is changing at a pace that only the strong going to survive. So ladies, your job is not to submit to a man who does not have a purpose, who does not have a mission. So ladies, stop submitting to his penis, and fellas, stop chasing vagina. Character solves this problem. But you are not going to be able to run to white men because the numbers show they don't want y'all. And you are not going to be able to run to white women because the numbers show y'all getting the bottom of the barrel. So there is no solution outside of you fixing yourself. Now, if you want to get biblical and you want to get scriptural, the woman is to respect and honor the man. And the man is to be like Yeshua, or Christ was to the church, meaning that he lays down his life for the church, which means the man lays down his life for the woman. The Bible says that the wife and the husband should submit one to another. That's the first verse in that whole submit, the woman submit to the man. They leave out the first verse. So the submission goes both ways, but the submission looks different. The man submits with his life, the woman submits with her obedience. The man submits with his life, the woman submits with her obedience. We both submit. Y'all don't want to be out there taking bullets. So it's a good trade-off. He protects you at all costs. You submit to him. That sounds fair. He protects you and the children in the house at all costs, and y'all submit to him. That is a very fair trade-off. In fact, y'all getting over. In fact, y'all getting over. I'm about to get off. Ephesians 5, and this thing moving so slow. I think it's Ephesians 5, then I'm going to go so I can read y'all a little bit of that word. Ephesians 5. Hold on, let me go to it, y'all. Hold on. I want to read the verse to you all because you all need to get it in context. These folks still out here. Ain't that many leaves outside. Ephesians 5. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Ephesians 5 and 21. Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God, which is wisdom. So the fear of God is wisdom. So submitting yourselves one to another in fear of God, basically wisdom makes y'all submit to each other. So wisdom makes the wife submit to the husband and the husband submit to the wife. But the submission just looks different. Wives, submit yourselves unto your husbands as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. So the man and the woman are both submitting. They are both submitting because that's not only wise, but it's also how we honor God. We honor God through becoming a husband and a wife. We honor God through marriage. This is why a man obtains favor from God when he gets married, because he's honoring God with his life, because he's choosing to give his life to this woman. That's why he gets favor. And if the man gets favor, automatically the woman gets favor because she's married to him. You see how God made this whole system and put it in place to where everybody benefits? Because that's God's way. In God's way, it's a win-win situation. In the world's way, you got to give up your whole soul to enjoy it. The world's not God. In God's system, it's a win-win for the man and the woman. And all they have to do is submit one to another. But if you did find a wife, as a man, you should want to protect her at all costs anyway. And if you did, and if you were found by a man, ladies, you should want to submit to him at all costs because he found you. We can't get past this whole marriage thing because marriage is God on earth. Now listen, I love y'all. And we're just gonna ride out. And I enjoyed y'all today. We got Al Green playing. The song is called Let's Get Married. I told y'all before, the music reflects what's going on. So they're not making love songs. So ain't nobody falling in love no more. Ain't nobody falling in love no more. We fall in love with social media. We ain't falling in love no more. We fall in love with the illusion. We ain't falling in love no more. He talking about a man loving a woman and a woman loving a man. He said, I'm tired of playing around. Listen to him. There's a girl in every town, but listen to him. I want to settle down. Listen now. And stop fooling around. Listen to the music. I want to stop fooling around. Listen, y'all. Listen before I go. Listen. I didn't mean to say the things I said. Oh no. Listen. You see, when the man loves you, ladies, he's gonna be honest with you. Don't say anything to drive you away. Come on, y'all. Let's get married. All right. Let's get married. Let's get married. Better break it down, y'all. Better break it down. Might as well. Listen. Go break it down. Might as well. Tell them. Take you in my arms and hold you. Take you in my arms and squeeze you. Y'all too young for this. Take you in my arms and love you every night. Just make everything all right. I wanna listen to what he's saying. Somebody said, let's get married before we have a baby. Marriage before the baby. Marriage before the baby. Thank you, Mimi. The music of the time reflects what's going on. So we're not getting married, and it reflects in the music. We got married back then. And man, Justin Wilson said, who wants to marry him? Listen, y'all, the perfect drug gonna start a dating show. We gonna make it a mission. We finna bring marriage. We finna bring love back. We finna bring marriage back. We finna bring marriage back. Yeah, yeah. Ow. Yeah. Marriage before the baby. I don't love nobody anyway. Yeah. Bring marriage back. They got baby mamas being celebrated. Now, back in the day, when you got pregnant, you wasn't married, you was young, you had to go off somewhere and then come back with a baby. It was shameful to be baby without the marriage. It was shameful. It was so shameful that we got married during slavery. Because it was shameful. Boy, listen, man, y'all don't want to hear that. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Y'all have a blessed day. Thank y'all.